Hey, what's up? Teacher Mike here, and if you are an immigrant dreaming of building your life here in Canada, stick around because today I'm sharing the 8 lessons that I've learned over the past 8 years living here in Canada. These are some things that I wish I knew before starting my immigration journey and becoming a permanent resident, which is something that I've always dreamed of. So let's dive right in on the video. My journey started about 8 years ago when I came to Canada. I was single, no kids, no experience, and nothing but a dream. And if you fast forward to today, I built a career and I created a business that helps literally thousands of immigrants secure their permanent residency with an awesome self-help score, improve their English, and improve their lives. I'm now married. I have beautiful kids. I have the honor to be living a life that once ago was just a dream. So what have I learned along the way? Let's break it down in today's video. So first and most important thing in my opinion is that your number one priority as an immigrant is getting your permanent residency, getting that PR. Without it, everything else becomes a little bit more complicated in your journey. So your permanent residency is your ticket to a stable life, better work opportunities, and eventually, of course, your citizenship. So as soon as you start your immigration journey, you want to do this as an international student, as a work permit holder, whatever, every road needs to lead to that PR. So for example, getting your first job, it should be a job that is one that it will help you with your CRS score points, or a job in a high demand field, or things that you have seen that will help you with your PR. So sometimes as an immigrant, you are not sure of why this is so important. You start thinking about a job that pays better, but let me explain to you why this changes the game for you. So first of all, as you get your PR, getting a better job becomes easier. So when you have your work permit, you should be able to get a job. But once you have your PR card and you have your SIN number that is for your permanent residency, that is specific for permanent residents, it's something that employers will be happier to see so that they can hire you, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is getting access to credit cards and loans and more better opportunities in terms of money, because as a PR, you just have more benefits in general than just being a temporary worker in Canada. You know, it's easier to get a loan, mortgages, overall benefits, and overall credits. And most importantly, it is your first goal, right? So getting your PR means that you don't have to worry about visas anymore. You don't have to worry whenever you're coming into the country and you have to talk to the immigration officer. That doesn't happen anymore. When you have your PR card on your hand, when you arrive in Canada, the officer doesn't say, why are you here? And what are you doing? For how long? The officer says, welcome home. So that's why getting that PR, that's your first and most important goal. Second, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but your second highest priority is becoming a citizen, right? So right after your PR, the journey doesn't finish. It's not over. Getting your citizenship should be an important goal as well. Why is that? Well, now that you have your PR, you can start getting the other parts of your life in order. You can get a better job. You can move provinces if you wish. I did this with my wife and kids. We had 2 kids at a time. Now we have 3, but we had 2. We moved from Toronto, Ontario to Calgary, Alberta. So as a PR, you have basically all the rights and of course all the obligations as citizens, with the exception of voting, of course. So you've made all this effort to go to a new country. So you moved away from your home, cost you money and time. So it's now time to be part of that new country that you have decided to live. And more importantly, you should start doing these things as a PR. That's where I am right now. I can apply for my citizenship in a few months. So you come to this country and it's important now to feel like you belong here. So a sense of belonging to the country that again, you've decided to live and thrive in. So becoming a citizen is important, not on paper, but on your ways, on your way of life, your respect to one another. And I'll be super honest here, adopting the culture of the country that you're in instead of trying to bring your culture from back home. And although this might be a touchy topic, I still think that, and I may make a video about this later on. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see my opinions on bringing your culture to the country. I believe you should adapt to the country's culture a lot more. So becoming a citizen is part of that, and that's why it's your number 2 priority there. Number 3, you are not impressive and no one cares about you or your story that much, and nor should they. So this might sound a little bit harsh, but hear me out. In Canada, being humble, humility, hard work are valued over self-promotion, thinking you're better than others. When immigrants come here, they often think that they have an amazing story and they have an amazing set of skills because they are immigrants and they did this hard thing, and they're gonna be valued right away on a new job, that people will want to hire them so easily because because they are so impressive. But there are so many immigrants here, it doesn't make a difference. Look, don't expect people to be impressed by you right away. So instead, focus on building skills that make sense, contributing to your community, and letting your actions speak for themselves. Being an authentic person wins in the long run. Lesson number 4, great English matters. My first job in Canada was as a door-to-door salesman in a door-to-door sales company. I had to walk all day in this rich neighborhood, knock on doors, and sell new HVAC systems to homeowners. If you don't know what HVAC means, is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So that job was an easy job to get. The job is not hard to get because there's no experience required. You make commissions only. So you only make money if you sell. So that said, there's something I'll never forget. On my first day, I was hired and I shared the room with a guy from Vietnam who had, just okay English skills. He wasn't bad. He just couldn't perfectly express himself. So we shared the van together and we went to the same houses together. Now, mind you, it's not because he was from Vietnam that his English was a little bit poor, because I've met people from Vietnam and they have great English as long as they've been studying it. It's just because that specific kid, because he was just young as me at the time, he didn't put the effort or maybe didn't have the opportunity to make his English great. Meanwhile, at the time, I was 18 to 19 years old, my English was already great. And while I was praised that day, I actually got into houses, I learned the script of my sales on the day, and I actually helped a sale come through. It wasn't my sale, but I helped a sale come through. I was praised because I did a good job that day. But that guy didn't last a day. I believe I never saw him again. So think about this. That was an entry-level door-to-door sales job, and he didn't last a single day because his English just wasn't enough. And he was able to speak, just not good enough. So great English matters at all levels, not just okay, but great. Lesson number 5, and that one is important. A good relationship takes you further ahead in life, but a bad relationship sets you back. And I'm not talking only about your love relationships. I'm talking about friendships and people whom you partner with as well. I can recall all of my best friendships, people who pushed me further and helped me grow as a person. And I can also remember people who I have interacted with who seem to be jealous, annoyed, or even angry at the idea of another immigrant succeeding in any way, shape, or form, or just being better than them in some way. So you will unfortunately meet many immigrants that even from your own home country, they are not interested in helping you in any way. They are not interested in your best. So be mindful of who you let into your life. And remember that sometimes you're just going to have to cut out people when you need to. Now, that said, good relationships will help you dramatically. I have my 3 best friends here. We lived together. We went to the gym together. We had these moments where we talked about our goals and things we were gonna do, and it was an amazing vibe, and we wanted the best for each other. And so I met another friend who took me to church and made me come back to my faith as a Christian, which is amazing as well. And then, of course, my wife, who eventually we had the 3 most beautiful children together. And that's what I mean. A good relationship will take you very far. I wouldn't be where I am today without these people, and especially without my wife. But a bad one can set you back, can make you lose money, can make you stressed. So select really well who you are going to let into your life as an immigrant. Number 6, and this one's about the cold of Canada. Winter can hit you pretty hard if you are not prepared for it. So this one's pretty simple. It's not crazy. Everybody knows when you come to Canada that it is a cold country overall. On my first winter here, I'll never forget, I called my mom and dad and I said, look, I can't take it anymore. I just have to go back to Brazil. Imagine, guys, I was from Brazil, a place where it's full of, sunny weather, beaches all the time. But my dad was very smart and he said, my son, when I was young once, I was also afraid. And that advice just helped me really quickly. I was like, oh, I'm just afraid. I'm just scared. So that helped me. It helped me become me again. And I took my vitamins, especially vitamin D12. I got back to working out because I wasn't working out at the time. And I got back to being a better person overall. So trust me, if you've never had any signs of a more complex or a harder or tougher mental health issue, I don't think winter will destroy your life. But you will probably have the winter blues if you're not used to it. So just being sad at winter, which is normal. So it's good to take some steps into avoiding it. So number 1, exercise in any way and eat well. Okay, exercise and eat well. Avoid horrible junk foods. Number 2, have some vitamins, especially vitamin D12 because of your lack of sunshine. And iron helps with the absorption of it. Magnesium as well. People say good things about it, but of course you should do your own research about that topic. So eat well and exercise, have your vitamins, and of course have a group of people with whom you interact with and who you like. Because I promise you, if you do those 3 things, you'll be just fine during winter. Number 7, getting a job is easy. easy. Any job, super easy. Getting a good job is hard, as it should. Okay, so finding any job in Canada is not difficult. If you tell me that it's difficult, it doesn't matter how hard the economy is, getting a job, any job is easy. However, landing a good job that aligns with your skills and career goals and things you dream of, this requires effort. And of course, it requires effort because it's hard, because a lot of people want it. So here's the thing. Most of us as immigrants will not land the job that we want right away. Here's a list of things that I worked before I was able to get my PR and before I built my career in Canada as an English coach. And I'm just going to talk about the jobs that I didn't like because I had other jobs that I liked, but these are the ones I hated. Number 1, gardening. Horrible. Number 2, I was a waiter at bars and parades. Okay. And also a bartender. Number 3, door-to-door sales, which I mentioned today. Number 4, cleaner, garbage collector, and I worked in commercial cleaning. And number 5, I was once as well a mall janitor, so I had to do some things in the mall, which was also horrible. These are just the jobs that I didn't like. So you can imagine that it took me a while to build the life that I wanted, but it was worth it. So getting a good job is hard. Getting any job is pretty simple. And number 8, you can build the life of your dreams in Canada. You just have to stop dreaming and start doing. Here's why I made this video today. You can and you will build the life of your dreams, no matter where you are. Okay, in some countries it's going to be harder. In some countries it's going to be easier. In some countries it's going to be nearly impossible, but it's possible. But if you are in Canada, Canada is a great place with great opportunities. So if you plan to make your life in Canada, you can make it work. But the thing is, you have to act. Now that I've been in Canada for a little over 8 years, I've seen many people come and go. Many immigrants that never improved their lives, never went after what they wanted. They just survived because this life is so hard. And then when they look back, nothing has improved. They haven't built anything. They haven't created solid relationships. They have nothing to show for. So you don't need to be great to start anything. You don't need to start a business, but you need to go into your career. You need to make relationships. You need to meet people. You don't need to be great to start anything, but you do have to start something so that you can be great at it. So stop dreaming as an immigrant. Just stop dreaming about all the things you're going to do. Start doing them in small ways so that you can slowly step forward. These are the 8 things I've learned. So look, if you're an immigrant in Canada and you need your CELPIP for PR or PGWP because of the new regulations that are happening right now, doing everything on your own can be a hassle and sometimes nearly impossible just because you have to do everything by yourself. So I've got your back. All you got to do is click the link in the description to chat with one of my student advisors at expressprep.ca. If you are already applying for your PR or PGWP, we are going to guide you on preparing you for your CELPIP test, which is the test that is required for that application, PR and PGWP. And we're going to help you get your PR with the highest score possible. So make sure that if you're watching this video before November 2024, you start before, because after November 24, if you're watching this after this date, you know that now the spots for CELPIP are probably going to fill up quickly, making it harder and more expensive to book your exam. So the longer you delay, the more money you may risk losing being out of work. So if you can, even as a current international student, have your CELPIP ready now to avoid these hassles later on, so that you avoid being out of work waiting for your PGWP because you don't have your CELPIP score yet. All right, so that is it for today. Teacher Mike out. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel. Of course, like this video and drop a comment with any questions you have about life as an immigrant in Canada. And I'll see you in the next video.